What's going on, Highlight Nation? It's Thomas DeLauer, your community captain. All right, so here's the problem with back exercises. When it comes down to how we like to structure workouts, and especially what we're all about when it comes down to the Highlight community, is you really need a lot of equipment a lot of times. In order to build a solid back, a lot of times you feel like you need to be having a lot of barbells, you need to be doing a lot of rows, or at the very least, you need to be able to complete a pull-up. Well, I want to give you a few ways that you can start building your back with just body weight exercises. Okay, that way you can transition into being able to do a pull-up even if you can't already do one. So the first one that I want you to do is, of course, going to be an inverted pull-up. Okay, that's going to be where you're laying back on your back and you're using a barbell that is racked up, or you can just use any kind of stable platform that you can use to pull up on. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to extend your legs straight out in front of you, and then you're going to hold your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and you're going to go through a simple pull-up style motion. Okay, you can bend your knees however much you need to in order to make the movement a little bit easier, and slowly and gradually make it so that your feet are further and further away from you to add a little bit of extra resistance. This is the obvious one. The next one is going to be called a Y raise. Now, this Y raise is great for building up that scapular adduction strength. You want to be able to retract your scapula as much as you can in order to get stronger to ultimately do a pull-up, because that's the natural progression. Once you can do a pull-up, then you're in a really good situation. So this movement looks something like this. So you're gonna lay down on your stomach and you're gonna hold your arms out over your head as if you were making yourself into a giant Y. And all you're going to do is lift your torso up just a couple of inches and then lift your arms up another couple of inches past that. It may not seem like much, but by getting your scapula a little bit stronger, you are definitely going to be able to get your movement a little bit stronger when it comes down to a pull-up. The next one I want to talk about is a good old-fashioned scapula push-up. This is where you're going to start in a push-up position, and you're going to go ahead and complete a push-up if you want to, and then you're going to press up and you're going to really try to retract the scapula at the top of the movement. Now, additionally, you could do one other thing by doing a regular push-up with a hand release at the bottom. In fact, you see this in the Highlight Daily circuit quite often. It's where you come down to the bottom of your push-up and then you bring your hands up and retract your scapula. This is another variation of a scapular push-up. Now, I know these movements aren't huge and they're not ones that are going to build a massive back, but we're really limited with what we can do when it comes down to bodyweight movements for the back. So this is a great place to start so that you can progress onto a pull-up and then move from there. Because once you can do a pull-up, you can add a little bit of resistance and you can get the size and the width and the actual detail to your back that you're after when it comes down to building the body that you're after. So I'll see you in the next Highlight video, and thanks again, and as always, make sure you check out the awesome line of clothing that Highlight's bringing to you and cutting out the middleman so that you can get the best price possible. See you soon.